If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Because as your life changes and your body changes, Sleep Number mattresses adapt and shift to give you personalized comfort night after night. And now everything's on sale during our Memorial Day event. Save up to $1,200 on mattresses for a limited time. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number, to a good life sleep.
Make game day yours. Tickets, food and drinks, stats, and streaming. Everything you need is in the Utah Mammoth app. Download today and make game night easy. Download on both Android and iPhone. Tusk Top.
Hey, it's 10 a.m. and this is Utah's best sports radio.
Say my name.
You're locked on to Scotty G and the coach, Tim LaComb.
You're damn right.
Presented by Mountain Land Supply on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Hey, let's get it, folks. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Scott Garrard, the coach, Tim LaComb. How are you, sir?
Let's wake up the neighbors.
Let's go.
I'm doing well. We saw a big-time game last night. I felt, I said it yesterday, I felt like Minnesota would give way more than San Antonio was expecting. I felt like San Antonio would find a way to win, even late. But, man, you don't see it very often, but Anthony Edwards,
yeah,
like, kudos to you, man. Most guys maybe had waited. But this dude he's a guy that's out there always about, hey, man, if I'm healthy, I'm playing. And healthy for him is, if I can get up and walk around.
I mean, look, and I tweeted this out this morning. All of us, and it's easy, and I'm as guilty as anybody. If you grew up watching NBA hoops in the 80s and 90s, you really have a strong appreciation for tough man basketball because that's what you were around. You guys played 75 to 82 games every year. There were no night offs. It was as physical in January as it was in April. And, the bad boys of Detroit, the Jordan rules, all that stuff where people were just knocking each other's heads off and playing through pain. And so now our generation looks at these NBA players and thinks that they're a bunch of spoiled, pampered, whats. And so on the flip side, if we're gonna kill NBA players for being that way, then we better put up Anthony Edwards on a pedestal and say, hey, this is our kind of guy. This is a guy that could have flourished in the 80s and 90s because he played through pain and he impacted a game and he told the training staff, get lost. I don't care what you say. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to play and led his team to a big game one victory on the road.
And it's just awesome. I mean, it's in a league that's aching for that. For a guy. And I told Lloyd this earlier. I'm curious how you feel about it. But when I watch the league, and I watch it a ton, obviously 82 games a year with the Jazz. So I see just about everybody depending on the night.
Yeah.
But Anthony Edwards to me is a throwback to, the closest thing to what it felt like when he gets it going. And that little hop, he gets a hop in his step. He shot that 3 over Wemby last night and had just – he got that off just barely over the Eiffel Tower, and man, but his back pedal, there's parts of that dude. That's what it was like watching Mike all the time.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean. And I love it. I'm looking at his logs. So since he came into the league, he's played 72 games, 79 games, 79 games, 79 games, and this year obviously got hurt with the knee and played 61.
But still played 61, more than a lot of guys that are just resting.
Exactly. So, it's crazy to me, but it just shows you, again, we saw it with the Mammoth in Vegas. People talk about playoff experience. The Spurs team has a marginal bit of it, but they're going against a team that's been, right on the verge of making major statements. And they got a bunch of veterans that are proud,
Hey, by the way, we're going to get into that game. I'm going to have that on our starting lineup, but a little bit of breaking news. I can already hear the angst coming down from Cache Valley right now. BYU and Utah State announcing a 2-game series. Game 1, Utah State, BYU, December 9th in the Marriott Center. Game 2, Logan, right? No.
Just a little south?
just a little south, in the Delta Center for the 27-28 season. And I thought it was going to be a 3-game. When I saw that they announced the series and I saw Delta Center, I thought it'd be a 3-game series, one in Provo, one in Logan, one in the Delta Center. No. BYU gets out of the trip to Logan, and they will go to the Delta Center instead.
Well, I imagine major negotiations there. The positive side, I love when these two teams play.
I do too.
And we were just talking before we came on because we saw that hit. But I was part of this thing has changed a bunch. And what it used to be was, this team would play actually home and road in the same year when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah.
That was yearly. You set your clock by it. And then obviously when the conferences became to be more desperate, I guess, obviously the power team's going to hold the cards.
Yeah.
And so I was a part of the whole thing that actually tried to take it off of it was what it was when I got to BYU was 1 year in Provo, 1 year in Logan.
Yeah.
And you just alternate.
Yeah.
But then the crazy thing is, obviously, everything changes. And so Dave proposes to Stu that we do Provo, Logan, and then the third in Delta Center. And, thought that would be a good thing for everybody. And learned very quickly, no, that was not a good thing. And actually, he had people would come up to him in the grocery store from Logan and say, "That's really awful what you did to the Aggies."
Wow.
Oh, yeah, man. So I can imagine that this will probably not land well.
No. And I remember PK and I got into a real big argument one morning and during this whole thing. And he said, well, Utah State's going to do what BYU wants them to. I'm like, normally, yes. Stu won't. Like, Stu is the one guy where he'd be like, nah, it's either my way or no way. And PK and I had a bet that Utah State would cave on it. And I said, Utah State might, Stu Morrill won't. And sure enough, Stu's like, fine, we'll shut it down.
And we did. It wasn't shut down for a year or two.
Yeah, it went away for a while.
Yeah, and then when it did come back, however, it was the home neutral.
Yeah, which is the right way to go. Absolutely.
So again, this is the one cool thing about Delta Center, and the Aggie fans have shown it. They'll get out and be rowdy and loud. In fact, I was a BYU coach in one of the games in Delta Center against the Aggies, and they turned out great and were really loud.
Yeah,
as I recall. So, hey, man, it's a win for the state. They're going to play. Those two teams this last year, obviously, I thought that would have been a fun game to watch this year with both teams at full strength and both teams firing because they were so different. The two styles would have been interesting to watch.
Utah State. Also, part of that agreement is that that game in Delta Center, it will be a 50-50 ticket split. So BYU gets 50%, Utah State gets 50%.
That's cool. I like that.
Yeah.
Turn the game to the Spectrum. Come on.
That's what I would do.
Come on.
Come up north.
I mean,
What's wrong, McFly? Chicken?
Okay, and that's where everybody will go. But again, it's if you're going to play, it's like in a negotiation. If you hold the cards, you're going to hold the cards. And right now, by virtue of the league, BYU's making that decision.
Yeah, I mean that's.
But I applaud Cam and Coach Jacobson for doing it.
Yeah.
I do. I think it's great for the state.
And that's one thing that Ben Jacobson would have to sign off on. Cam Walker would sign off. I mean, I think those guys are going to work together and say, all right, what can we do to make this thing work? Well, we'll do this and this. Like, can we get you to Logan? Nope, not deal's off. And like, okay, well, how badly do you want? But here's the thing, though. In this day and age of quad ones and all that, I mean, Utah or if BYU goes to Logan, that's a quad one game for BYU.
Absolutely. It is.
Yeah.
Absolutely a quad. But in their mind, they've got plenty of quad.
Oh, yeah. They play in the Big 12.
Right.
They don't need quad ones.
So,
Utah State does need quad ones because their conference isn't going to provide a lot of them. More than it did last year when you have San Jose and Air Force dragging everybody down. But, yeah, Utah State definitely needs the resume padding more than BYU does based on the conference affiliation.
And regardless of, what people think in the state, if BYU in its current, status goes to Logan and loses, it would be one of the top stories, because, and I think that's what BYU looks at. They don't have anything to gain there, right? Let's play. We'll play one at our place, and we'll give you half the gate. I think in a power scenario, it makes a ton of sense. For us traditionalists, I would like to see it be, home and home.
Yeah.
But again, that's something that BYU probably wouldn't do because they don't have to.
What's wrong, McFly? Chicken?
Lloyd's gonna sink his teeth into that one. Hey, so do you think that there's also probably some financial, financial things involved in this as well for going to BYU?
Oh, I would think so, for sure. Yeah, I would think so because
essentially treat it like a buy game.
Yeah, there was probably a payment involved that would then make it more equitable because that's typically you look at a home and home always. If you do not return the game, then there usually is some sort of cash incentive to play the game.
Yeah,
I had to schedule forever. By
the way, people don't understand what a nightmare that is.
Man, it is so dirty.
Yeah.
You can have things locked down or think you've got them locked down. And I'm talking about with other coaches, with ESPN. Like ESPN did us so hard one time after we did them a huge favor to play in their Mickey Mouse midnight, play 2 a.m. thing. But it's just crazy the scenarios you get in. I once negotiated a deal. We went and played Northern Arizona in Prescott. They wanted to open this new facility in Prescott, Arizona. And coach is like, I don't want to do that. And then they came back and they're like, we'll fly you there on jet and we'll give you $100,000 and something your program. Coach is like, done. So it was one of the cooler ones we ran into because number one, you're going to win that game no matter what.
Yeah.
Number two, you're getting compensated and it's really hassle-free, the travel.
Yeah.
Those are the things you look at.
And then you also look at the fact okay, it's Arizona and we can pitch this as trying to reach out to members and BYU fans down in that part of the state.
Oh, yeah.
That's the thing. You can always play that card.
But the crazy part about it is you walk into, whether it be Prescott, Arizona, Madison, Wisconsin, we were on the Isle of Crete, and there are going to be at least 50 people there. It doesn't matter where you are, and people will show up. It's crazy to me, but that brand, obviously with the affiliation, the culture, they get out and support.
There was a 2-game, I don't want to say an MTE, but it was just a back-to-back, just a doubleheader in Vegas. I think it was a T-Mobile, and BYU played Creighton the first game. This was 3 years ago.
Yeah, I think that was with Mark.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it was Mark's last year. And then, so BYU played Creighton, and then Utah State played LMU the second game. And Creighton and BYU, obviously, you're going to have crazy fan bases. And then Utah State played LMU, and then you could hear a pin drop in that thing.
I'm telling you, it was so sad when LMU came to the conference tournament, because it would be the Lion and the cheerleaders.
Yeah.
And some semblance of a band. And then maybe 4 or 5 other people. And that was it. That was their whole contingent.
And a ratty gym.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Bad.
No bueno.
Those Wednesday night games in the WCC were not made for television.
Oh, man. And to go from the pit and Viejas and all that that's hard coming back from that.
Then you go to the Orleans, for the tournament. They squeeze you in that little, it's like a bowling alley.
Oh, yeah. No, I've been there many, many times.
Where you can just walk down from craps and catch a ball.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. All right, we'll get back to that, but Utah State, BYU back on the books. First game coming up December 9th in Provo, and then game number 2. I don't believe there's a date set on that yet, but it will be in the Delta Center coming up in the 27-28 year. All right, let's kick it off. It is your starting lineup right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
It's time to kick off the show with the biggest headlines of the day. This is your starting lineup on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Here's Ant baseline on the drive, steps through, reverse layup. His night stays perfect. Anthony Edwards 3 for 3 shooting. 6 to shoot. Ant settles for the 3. Right side, it's on its way. It's nothing but net. Anthony Edwards' third 3. He's up to 13 points. Champagny moves to his left, fires a three at the buzzer. It's off the front rim, no good. The ball game is over. The Timberwolves have stolen game one in San Antonio, 104-102.
So, by the way, this is the craziness of basketball. This is why I love, and sports overall. We are a wide open three away from having a completely different conversation. I mean, that was a good look from three, left it way short, and now we're going to talk about how great Minnesota is. But the fact is, Minnesota did go in there and play really well, led by Anthony Edwards, and San Antonio had a historic defensive performance from Wemby, and it was all for naught. 12 block shots, 12 blocks, and 6 in the first quarter, I want to say?
Yeah, 7 actually.
Yeah.
I'm telling you this right now. That dude, that line is insane. He had 11 points, and credit Minnesota for that because they did not let him get to the rim much.
No.
And that's where he needs to get to be really effective. He did get there a couple times like a giraffe and just soar over everybody. But they did a nice job physically on him. And then, Ant was so big. But to your point, I like the fact they didn't call timeout. I like the fact they raced that thing up there. You're not going to get that kind of look, or you may, but it's going to take a lot of things to go right. In transition, if you can race the ball up and make an advantage for yourself, I love that play. And you're right. I mean, if that thing goes in, this whole thing is completely different. But credit the Timberwolves and their playoff experience because you have to have a ton of grit. It takes grit to go do that because nobody, we talked about it yesterday, and you were spot on about the Knicks. So I have a feeling the Knicks are going to roll tonight. And I was like, but they rolled all right. But the other game we talked about it, and we both felt like the Wolves would show up because of that, because of the grit.
And they are just a tough throwback team. And by the way, Rudy Gobert getting a ton of love for what he did defensively against Wemby. But I also think Randall needs some love too, because I think he played really well in the second half against Wemby, and he drew that assignment a lot. So you got Anthony Edwards pretending like it's 1987 out there, playing for the bad boys. He and Bill Laimbeer next to each other, just knocking heads and playing hurt and doing everything they need to do. And don't overlook the influence. And Anthony Edwards pointed this out post-game, too. And you covered him for every game that he played in a Jazz uniform. Don't overlook the influence Mike Conley has on that locker room. And to have that kind of a veteran, that mature adult in the room with a lot of big personalities in that Minnesota locker room. You go to Jaden McDaniels and you go to Anthony Edwards. I mean, these are dudes that are just alphas thinking they are the BMOCs. And you get a guy like Mike Conley who's been around the block over and over and over again and bringing these dudes together and saying, okay, this is what it's going to take. I think he has been an absolute huge impact for that team.
No, for sure. And, his play with Dante, DiVincenzo being out, and having to play more minutes than he's played all year. He's really played in the teens most of the year. Has just been kind of a guy that's filled in with foul, when guys get in foul trouble. But last night played 24 minutes and was just so efficient. That's the number you look at. You want your point guard to take shots and make them, but they don't need to be about them. He was 4 for 8, 4 for 7 from 3, and hit the number I look at for a point guard: 6 assists, no turnovers. Yeah. And all that chaos, all that length, didn't get himself in any trouble. And you're right, he was the floor general out there. But this Minnesota team's impressed me because they've been written off a couple of times. Each iteration. I mean, we're a couple of years removed from Rudy fighting with McDaniels.
Oh yeah.
But I think a big thing happened when the playoffs started. I think Jaden McDaniels really stood up and bowed his neck, and we all talked about it. And it was brash and it was out there, but I think they kind of needed that.
Yeah.
Because everybody on this team, the veterans particularly, have really rallied. And then Ant, not totally 100% ready to go, but man, was he effective in 25 minutes. I love they brought him off the bench and used him in spots, but 25 minutes, had 18 points. Again, very efficient, 8 for 13. Wasn't trying to force things, but when big shots needed to be made, he made them.
8 of 13 from the field. I mean, just methodical, 2 of 3 from the three-point line, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, did everything the right way. It was just It was just everything you hope from a guy like that. And, he didn't have to go 35, 36 minutes. Jaden went 36. Julius Randle went 41. Rudy went 30. Terrence Shannon, by the way, who had himself an interesting night as well with 35 minutes. Anthony gave you a 25. Not healthy. Maybe at, what do you think, 75?
Probably. I mean, he was wincing and grabbing at his knee a lot.
But for him to give you 25 minutes and play as well as he did, I think it just meant the world for that squad. Naz Reid also with 30 minutes, 12 points. I mean, overall, this team just played really well.
They did, and it's a team that struggled this year. They won 49 games, in the regular season, and so they are playing their best basketball. I think they have actually really connected.
Yeah.
This year for the first time, really connected as a team, and it shows it coming off the bench. Are you kidding me? Like most guys would be like, no, I'm going out there, but this team right now is about and those are dangerous teams. Guys that have grit, have been there before, and make it about us. That's a good team right there.
All right, so there you go. Minnesota gets a Game 1 victory, and the Knicks absolutely obliterate the 76ers in Game number 1. We'll talk about that game coming up. It's a busy show. We'll also continue to wrap up, put a nice tidy bow on the Utah Mammoth season coming up a little bit later on in the program. This is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Hey there, it's Wayfair here, where delivery and setup are as easy as a few taps on your phone. You're relaxing in an old hammock, scrolling Wayfair's app, when you spot it, a brand new patio set. Next thing you know, Wayfair delivers it right to your patio and sets it up. Oh, you need a new grill too? All right, Wayfair's got you covered. With Wayfair's Room of Choice delivery and fast expert setup on qualifying orders, life gets a little easier. Visit wayfair.com or the Wayfair app.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Hey, sweetie, your mother showed me this Carvana thing for selling the car. I'm going to give it a try. Wish me luck. Me again. I put in the license plate. It gave me an offer. Unbelievable. Okay, I accepted the offer. They're picking it up Tuesday from the driveway. I haven't even left my chair. It's done. The car's gone. I'm holding a check. Anyway, Carvana, give it a whirl. Love ya.
So good, you'll want to leave a voicemail about it. Sell your car today on
Carvana.
Pickup fees may apply.
It's Cougars and Aggies. When it comes to sports in Utah, we've got you covered. This is Scotty G and the coach, Tim LaComb, presented by Mountain Land Supply on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Happy, what is it, Tuesday? It's Tuesday today,
Tuesday,
right?
man.
Yeah, that's right. They all kind of blend together. All right, so we got again, in case you're just joining us, I'm getting some people on Twitter that are that may have maybe a 435 next to their phone number that are none too pleased about the game.
Ooh, let's get into some of those. That'll be fun today.
What's wrong, McFly? Chicken?
Well, it's an interesting situation where Utah State will be playing BYU, and look, I love the rivalry. I love that game. These are the two best basketball teams in the state of Utah. They should be playing every single solitary year, and it should be a really fascinating game between these two teams. Now, BYU, we know that the talent that they'll have on that team. For Utah State, obviously you'll have Mason Falsev, you'll have Carson Templin, and then a bunch of new guys as well. But you know what? This is a game that needs to be played. Now, no trip back to Logan. Game 2 next year. Or not this year, but the following year will be in the Delta Center, which I think those games need to be played all the time, honestly. Delta Center games, in-state, out-of-state, I don't care. I love Utah State playing games down there. Would every Utah State fan prefer to see a trip back to Logan? Yes, but you know what? When you're scheduling a team in the Big 12, sometimes they hold all the cards there.
And that's the crazy thing is that's where it was for us. Like that's exactly what Arizona did to us. They did not, however, make us play in their home state because obviously. But Arizona agreed to do a deal with us if we played in their Fiesta Bowl Classic basketball tournament right around the time or right before the Fiesta Bowl Classic or Fiesta Bowl in January. We actually got that, and then their return was to Delta Center. So, BYU's been big boy too. But it's it's the nature of the beast now, and the bigger the paycheck next to your league, the more decisions you get to make. It's just that's the world we live in.
Somebody will do a freedom of information on the Utah State part. They'll get that contract, take a look at it, and I think there'll be some interesting financial ramifications in there as well.
I would bet so. Yeah, and because that's how those contracts are done. Basically the way the contract, if it's just, like you're selling a house, you're going to swap houses. It'd say, we'll do one here and one there.
Yeah.
But if there is not that return, then there has to be some sort of compensation. And part of that could be the 50-50 split of Delta Center, because that's a game that's a place BYU uses multiple times a year typically. But I would imagine there's, in addition to that, then probably some sort of financial compensation for that.
You and Dave, you loved going to Logan, right?
I actually didn't mind it at all. I mean, I hated playing up there, but if you're a basketball fan, and I told you this year, I went and did a game with you, filled in on the Fresno game,
yeah.
And at halftime was told that the nearest restroom was up, so I got a good quad workout that night. But I also got a great look at Aggie faithful, and I'm telling you, man, it's tried and true, and they're in those seats. It was a Tuesday night, if I recall, and it was a later start. But you couldn't find a seat in the house. I asked you on the way up. I called you, said, hey, can you get me a ticket for my buddy? He's going to come up with me. And he's like, Scotty was like, no, man, they're sold out. I'm sorry. I can't even get any through the athletic department. So I literally got on SeatGeek and bought a ticket, and my buddy came with me. So it's a place that if you love basketball, you want to be a part of them. But I took my share of butt kickings in there. I think I only won one game up there, if I remember right, one or two, with a lot of really good teams. That goes back to Rick. My very first game in the Spectrum, we won with Utah back in '94. Doliak hit an angle 17-foot jumper to put it from a 5-point game to a 7-point game with about a minute something to go, and he'd been working on that shot and hadn't really taken anything away from the rim. I remember he just stepped up, bam. And that became kind of his patented shot. But that's where, the first one went in and everybody's like, yes. So it was awesome.
He might be onto something
He might be onto something.
He might be an okay player for us.
That was back in the Eustachy days.
I think. Yeah. Larry was there till 97, 98 was his last year. And then Stu, I remember Stu's first year, they beat Utah after Utah's trip to the national championship game.
That's right.
Yeah.
Absolutely did. But you just take that into account when you schedule, and BYU, a team like BYU, they're trying to obviously play a competitive schedule, but not one considering the conference they're in that's going to break their neck.
Yeah.
And if they can go play, for instance, or actually bring somebody into the Marriott Center and just pound them, then they'll probably suffice better because they're going to get plenty of opportunities to go on the road in hostile environments.
97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. All right, so last night, the Knicks, and, we kind of talked about this a bit yesterday, and watching them again up close last night, I really think this team might be coming out of the East. They just hammer Philadelphia, 137-98, have a big lead, nearly a 20-point lead at halftime. And, in fact, it was a 20-point lead at the break. And at that point, it was just cruise control. And Jalen Brunson continues to just be a beast. And at his size, I don't know how he's doing it, but, man, he's doing it.
He's that guy. He is that guy. And I talked about it. He's a guy that came into the league through the second round. And we saw what he did in that series against Utah. Donovan and he were kind of the marquee guys, and he won that battle each and every night, and you kept thinking he can't keep making that step back and stop going for a shot fake. And, man, that shot was hard. He can't make that again. But sure enough, that's what he's done. And there's a toughness to him. I mean, the shot he hit, really, really big-time dagger shot he hit on a big run that then, they were able to run away from the Sixers. But to the Sixers' point, and you mentioned this yesterday, they were gassed. I mean, Edgecombe played 44 minutes against the Celtics.
Yeah.
Maxey played 45. Paul George played 42. And these aren't, he's not a young guy. Embiid's injured and coming off injury, and he played 39. So you're going to see a better look from Philly, but I'm with you. I don't see a team now that can beat New York because they've got something going. And there's a neat fabric woven through there, like the Josh Hart piece, how hard he plays, Bridges, how hard he plays. I mean, that's a special group.
It's a blue collar group. Is what I really like.
Cat tough.
I know.
You know what
I don't know how
He's
that
tougher.
happened.
I guess tougher. Sorry.
Tougher. Yeah, I guess.
Lose my credibility. Not tough.
Yeah.
Tougher.
There's, and I remember a coach talking about a particular player, and I'll tell you who it is during the break, but he said, you know what? I can't make him tough, but I can at least make him at least pretend like he's tough out there.
That's right. He has to believe it.
Yeah, you can't teach a baby shark how to bite.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
But you can maybe teach I don't know, one that doesn't bite to at least gum it a little bit. Just try.
That's my two twin granddaughters are teething right now.
Yeah.
Not teething, and they're about to pop the first tooth, so they're gumming a lot of stuff right now.
Yeah.
Those cold ice packs.
That's miserable, man.
Can you imagine? I'm glad we don't remember all that stuff.
I got to imagine if you have twins, you want them to be the first. Because I know your daughter had the one and then had the twins after. Like, if you know what it's like to have one, it's probably tough going to twins after that. But if you have twins right out of the gate, you don't know any different. You just think that's what life's like. But when you realize that, oh, wow, this is harder, and it's harder times 2 than it was for the first one, then I got to imagine that's not easy.
Oh, man, it has been a family affair. Let's put it that way. Everybody's been willing, but, man, it rocks your world, dude. It rocks your world. Some of the stuff early on, I'm just, like, acclimating to a new life is no joke. There's a lot to it.
Oh, yeah.
And thank you to all those that kept us afloat because we were just a blob, that needed all that attention.
My wife and I, our kids are about 4 or 5 years apart, each one of them. And it was enough where we would forget how, there was enough time that passed that we would forget how hard it was. And like, oh, yeah, we've done this. We'll be fine. And then all of a sudden we're like, oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that too. And then, a few years like, all right, you ready for another? Yeah, it wasn't that bad. We can deal with that. And then, nope.
We trick our own self.
Yes.
I mean, it's like when a season starts every year. I went to dinner with you the other night, and we were talking about when your schedule gets nuts. I mean, I can't imagine all of when you're doing both basketball, football, that overlap, handling the coach's show on the football side, driving here, there, and everywhere, traveling to here, there, and everywhere. I mean, that's got to be a blur. And every year you're like, why do I do this? And then about this time you're like, I'll give it another ride. I think that's going to be.
Let's go.
You don't remember You don't remember any of that.
But as a coach, I can't imagine what the toll that takes on a family.
Well, on a person too. Look at me. Look what it's done to me. I used to have my old badge. They gave me the press pass when I started working with the Jazz, but they used my picture from the BYU's website, which was when I was 36, and so I was very spry and very clean shaven, and upright, and had short hair. And so, I mean, a number of times they were like, "Is that really you?" Like, this is your brain. This is your brain on coaching. This is what you look like after you're done. After you 20 years of that.
12 years of coaching.
Yeah, that's it does some stuff to you. But you're right to the family too.
Yeah.
So honestly, we're going to Minky this week, right?
Yes.
Later in the week.
Yeah.
So get something for your mom, your wife, because they're the ones that end up bringing these wonderful children. they believe me, it's not us, pops.
No.
We do our best.
No.
But that nurturing piece, obviously, huge to get us through it.
And by the way, we will be at Minky Couture, as you mentioned, coming up on Thursday. So with that, please stop by and hang out with us. We'll be in Layton. There's a bunch of Minky Couture locations located up and down the Wasatch Front. On Thursday, we'll be at the Layton location where you can get 50% off any Minky regularly priced blanket. Now, keep in mind, on Thursday, we may even increase that discount just a hair, too. So all you have to do is go to any Minky location, mention the zone right now, and you'll get that 50% off. And that will continue throughout the weekend. You can also go online and use the promo code ZONE50, but I don't know if it's going to make it to you in time. So just to be safe, with Mother's Day coming up on Sunday, just go to any Minky location, mention the zone, get your 50% off, and just know you can't screw up Mother's Day. She gets a Minky blanket. It doesn't matter how many Minky she has. You give her another one, and she sees that, and she sees that little tag on it. You're a hero. You knocked it out of the park. So you can leave that store knowing I'm not sleeping on the couch on Sunday night.
I've already got a list. My wife has a list because we have now, daughters-in-law. Our daughter-in-law.
That's
we're
right.
Gonna take care of. And then her eyes got really big when she thought of another Minky possibly coming back. Even a robe.
The robes
and I told her I'm working on an entire outfit.
Yeah.
So Sandy, get that thing ready.
Next time you're doing the TV for the Jazz, you'll wear the Minky suit, like a Minky. Yeah.
Minky monster.
Yeah.
It's the Minky monster.
And just wrap up in that. I mean, it looks way better than anything Mike Smith's wearing.
Oh man, that guy dresses like he shops at the Boulevard. He's on the Boulevard.
Which he probably does now that he's in tip-top shape. All right, 1045, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Take a break. What you may have missed coming up next right here on The Zone.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Because as your life changes and your body changes, Sleep Number mattresses adapt and shift to give you personalized comfort night after night. And now everything's on sale during our Memorial Day event. Save up to $1,200 on mattresses for a limited time. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number, to a good life sleep.
Mom, can you tell me a story?
Sure. Once upon a time, a mom needed a new car.
Was she brave?
She was tired, mostly. But she went to Carvana.com and found a great car at a great price. No secret treasure map required.
Did she have to fight a dragon?
Nope. She bought it 100% online. From her bed, actually.
Was it scary?
Honey, it was as unscary as car buying could be.
Did the car have a sunroof?
It did, actually.
Okay, good story.
Car buying you'll want to tell stories about. Buy your car today on
Carvana.
Delivery fees may apply. Accessing.
The best radio in Utah is right here. This is Scotty G and the coach, Tim LaComb, on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Alex Napolis spinning the tunes back there. A little Santana. Hey.
Was there a moratorium on it? We didn't hear it for a few days after the triple shot.
Well, he was gone, so
but
he wasn't here to play it.
But hey, man, it's Cinco de Mayo. We got to party the Santana way.
A little Santana. I'm telling you, Cinco de Mayo, highly underrated.
Just quick magic fingers, that dude.
Yeah, that dude was, yeah. And I know that there's a lot of people that don't like that song. I like that song. Again,
I do too.
It's a little cotton candy-ish, but, there's nothing wrong. You don't listen to that song and afterwards be like, wow, that's 4 minutes of my life I'm never getting back.
You know where that song comes in handy? We're going to Cedar City in a couple weeks, right? Or a month or so. That comes in handy about outside of Mona.
Yeah.
When you've driven a long way, but you haven't driven far enough. And you need a little shot in the arm. It's just
like you could get out a little further from Mona before you had to go to Santana.
I don't know, man. It's hard to get. You haven't driven through there much lately. It takes you an hour and a half to just get through whatever Provo, Orem, and Linden have become. I don't see the type of traffic up here I saw down there.
No.
I'll tell you that.
No. That's why I know you're very happy about your move north.
I was so early today. I just got on State and just right down State today, just waving to everybody. Hello, I love my job.
You got to be careful, though, because if you don't go the right way, PK will yell at you.
Yeah, he's all about the efficient way. I was just trying to help a guy out. But then he did make he's here before most humans are awake.
Well, that's true. But that's the thing. He never has to deal with traffic.
I said most.
Unless it snows.
Unless it's... Wade.
Does he have a no snow driving in the snow
contract
policy
for all that time he spent in Arizona?
Well, I think all that time he's making, road trips from Laramie to Fort Collins. I think he was, he's new
to the weather.
I'm going to point in my life where I'm not going to deal with snow anymore.
You don't have to. And the cool part for PK, we got to see him today. And they had a great show. I was listening on the way in. Had some good guests, but he's got league day today. He gets to be out on the links.
Yes. When are we taking the show out to a golf course?
You tell me. Can't we can we go out and sit there with just random people and mock them?
Just heckle them? Yeah, we can probably make that happen.
Are you still a country club member?
I am not.
Oh.
You had that with the old coaching thing, right?
No, I didn't. I actually got it during that time, however. and
Alpine or
at Riverside.
Riverside, okay.
Yes.
I thought it was Alpine.
Shout out my good friend Riverside. No, I grew up near Alpine Country Club as a kid, but I wasn't on the country club list.
That's where my friend, our color analyst for football, Kevin White, is a member of
Alpine?
the Alpine Country Club.
Fine Country Club.
And apparently, I don't know if I should be telling this story on the air, but when has that ever stopped us before?
Hey, we get inside info.
Well, apparently, so Kevin is a rule follower, and that's what I love about Kevin. He is very he is your quarterback. This is when we do this, and this, and he's very much methodical, by the book, and he's a bishop. He does everything the right way, and that's why he's really good for the broadcast because. I am.
You get sideways.
I get a little sideways every now and then, and he's like, "All right, let's get it dialed
Bring
in."
it back in.
Yeah, and so there was, I guess, some kind of construction or some landscaping going on at Alpine. I don't know. I'm not invited to play Alpine, and so
Kevin, invite a brother.
Oh, Kevin's actually invited me a bunch of times, but Kevin's game is way too advanced for me.
Why are you shaking your head right now?
Stop it. He
hasn't.
He has. And so apparently they had to, they were skipping a hole and going to another hole, or you had to start on the back. Now, I don't know. There was something going on. And somebody wasn't following the rules. And Kevin was behind them. And Kevin started barking at him, said, "Hey, you're going the wrong way. You're screwing up everybody," and got apparently a little aggressive about it. And then found out that it was Danny and Austin Ainge.
Well, it doesn't surprise me. They were going the wrong way.
Yeah.
Because I've been with them golfing, and it's there's a lot going on. Conversations, arguments, debates, all of it. And then I can see where they could get off track. But fine golfers and fine men.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I'm sure they're talking big trades and weren't even paying attention exactly where they were going.
Hey, I heard something.
Moving and shaking.
Yeah.
So last week, I've had so many people reach out through, and this is a honk. But Danny called last week, and I was with my grandkids, and I talked to him. He said, "What are you doing?"
Have that as a hot button. We're going to be going to that a lot.
I feel like so.
You can't help who you hang with, man. Your network.
It's like,
don't use it against me.
It's not my fault I'm so
Buddy
popular.
called me, Danny.
So anyway, I was literally hanging with my grandkids, and he's like, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm hanging with my grandkids." He said, "Dude, I got something crazy for you." I said, "What?" He said, "I became a great grandfather yesterday." How crazy is that?
That's nuts.
He's a great grandpa.
A great grandpa.
And spry, could still go out there and probably get 20 in the right league.
Yeah, and he probably is, what about, what do you think, 5'6" handicap, maybe lower?
Oh, dude, he will kick your tail at golf. I do know that.
No.
I didn't ever get invited to those games because I would slow them down horribly.
Have you gone out on the course with Ryan?
I have.
Apparently, that's no joke either.
Yeah, way back when.
When you had more money than him?
Well, that wasn't it. Isn't that what he said? No, I didn't have. I was just Ryan forever. And he actually, when we were talking earlier today, he said, "I think when we met, you had more money than I did," which is probably true.
I don't know that he said it that way, but yeah.
Honk.
He's like, yeah, okay, wait a minute, Tim.
Don't get carried away.
I'm going to give you a little bit, but let's not get crazy here.
I know it's your day, but back up a little. No, I just, I had firm plans on what I was going to do when I grew up, I guess. But I did go out with him golfing in the day, and yeah, he can wallop that thing. Just he and I at Riverside, Dude, back nine was beautiful that night.
Dude could lace it down the fairway. Huh?
Velvet came across the fairway, hitting the approach shot.
Nice. All right, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. We got a busy show. Coming up a little bit later on, our good friend Thurl Bailey will join us in about 2 hours from now. We will chat with Big T.
Tim's good friend.
Hey, we need
I was just going to say, my guy Thurl.
Who are you talking with before the show?
I was talking to Thurl.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I was just checking.
Kurt Heelan will join us coming up in a bit.
This is where it gets real.
Jay Stevens, welcome to the team. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Because as your life changes and your body changes, Sleep Number mattresses adapt and shift to give you personalized comfort night after night. And now everything's on sale during our Memorial Day event. Save up to $1,200 on mattresses for a limited time. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number, to a good life sleep.
Hey, sweetie, your mother showed me this Carvana thing for selling the car. I'm going to give it a try. Wish me luck. Me again. I put in the license plate. It gave me an offer. Unbelievable. Okay, I accepted the offer. They're picking it up Tuesday from the driveway. I haven't even left my chair. It's done. The car is gone. I'm holding a check. Anyway, Carvana, give it a whirl. Love ya.
So good, you'll want to leave a voicemail about it. Sell your car today on
Carvana.
Pickup fees may apply.